Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Basics with me, and this is me Bhanu, and today we will see the full summary of a drama Waiting for Godot done by Samuel Beckett. So the story starts with the Act 1 and the setting is in the evening on a country road with a leafless tree, beneath which our character Astrogon, also known Gogo, was sitting, and he was trying to pull off his boot. Then another character, Vladimir, also known Didi, enters and he informs Gogo that he spent the night in a ditch where he was beaten by them. Here he was not aware who the them were, just mentioned as them. Astrogon succeeds in pulling off his boot and he looks inside it to see if there is anything, while the Vladimir does the same with his hat. And this seems to audience as a clone which happens in circus. Vladimir mentions the two thieves who were crucified next to Christ. He asks Astrogon if he knows the Gospels. On this, Astrogon gives a short description of the maps of the Holy Land, at which point Vladimir tells him that he should have been a poet. And Vladimir continues with his narrative about the two thieves in order to pass the time. Astrogon gets bored of waiting and suggests that they pass the time by hanging themselves from the tree. They both like the idea, but cannot decide who should go first. They are afraid that if one of them dies, the other might be left alone. In the end, they decide it is safer to wait until Godot arrives. When Astrogon feels hungry, Vladimir hands him a carrot for eating. Now, both were having nonsensical talk, no dialogue in the conventional sense. Now, the next two characters, Pogo and Lucky, arrives. Here the Pogo is considered as master and Lucky as slaves because Lucky has a rope tied around his neck and he was carrying a stool, a basket, a bag and a great coat. And the next end of the rope, which was tied around the Lucky's neck, was tightened by Master Pogo, and he was carrying a whip which he used to control the Lucky. Now here the Pogo and Lucky reach to them, and Lucky is completely silent and he obeys Pozo like a machine. He obeys his each and every command. Pozo asks Lucky to put down the stool and open food basket which contains chicken. Pozo eats chicken and throws away the bones. While standing holding the bag, Lucky was feeling asleep. When Astrogon asks if he can have the chicken bones that Pozo has been throwing away, on this Pozo tells him that they technically belongs to Lucky. When Astrogon asks Lucky if he wants them, Lucky does not reply. On this, Pozo tells to them why Lucky hold the bags the entire time. He thinks it is because Lucky is afraid of being given away. While Pozo tells them why Lucky continues to carry his bag, Lucky weeps. When Astrogan finds Lucky crying, he goes to wipe away his tears. On this, Lucky gives him a terrible kick in the shin. On this, he gets hurt and it's bleeding. Pozo tells them that he and Lucky have been together nearly 60 years. At this, Vladimir appalled at the treatment of Lucky, who appears to be such a faithful servant. On this, Pozo tells him that he cannot bear it any longer. He feels him burdened. Now Pozo asks Lucky to dance and think for them. On this order, Lucky dances and speaks or thinks for them. Before thinking, he puts his hat on because without hat he cannot think. As soon as he put on his hat, he gives or starts his speaking. And finally, they makes him stop speaking. When he stopped speaking, his last word was unfinished. After that, Pozo and Lucky leaves the scene. A young boy arrives to them, having been sent by Mr. Godot. Vladimir asks the boy if he remembers him, and the boy says that this is his first time coming to meet them. Also says that Mr. Godot will not be able to come today but perhaps tomorrow. On this, both Gogo and Didi discuss their past events and then decides to depart for the night. But neither of them moves. This is how our first act ends. Now the second act starts with the same setting, next day having the same time, which is of evening. And when they enters on the stage, they finds that Astrogan's boots and Lucky's heads are still on the stage. Vladimir enters and starts sing until Astrogan shows up. When Astrogan shows up, he feels upset that Vladimir was singing and happy even though he was not there. He was thinking how a Vladimir can be happy without him. Then the both admits that they feel better when they were alone, and finally convince themselves that they are happy when together. Now the both are waiting for Godot and ask each other questions to pass the time. Now in this second act, here the Astrogan has forgotten everything that took place the day before. He even cannot remember his boots and thinks that they must be someone else. When he tries them on, they fit him for some reason, as he thinks. Tree has got sprout leaves, and his shin is still puffy and bleeding from where Lucky kicked him. They done talking and try to find another topic for discussion. Vladimir finds Lucky's hat and he tries it on, and his own he throws it out. They decide to play being Pozo and Lucky. Now again there is entry of Pozo and Lucky, but this time Pozo is blind and Lucky is mute. And here Pozo is followed by Lucky, and Lucky is guiding him while walking. Lucky sees the two men and he stops. Pozo crashes into him and they both fall on the ground. Vladimir, overjoyed that reinforcements have arrived to help with the waiting. Vladimir and Astrogan tries to help them to get up, but both fall and cannot get up. Vladimir kicks Pozo when he talks again to keep him shut. Didi and Gogo finally get up and they also help Pozo to get up. Now Pozo asks them who they are and what time it is, but they do not answer his question. This shows that even Pozo and Lucky also forget what has happened yesterday. Astron goes to wake up Lucky, who has the habit of falling asleep. He kicks him and again hurts his foot. Now here the Vladimir asks Pozo to make Lucky dance or think for them again. On this, Pozo says that Lucky is mute. Vladimir asks, since when? On this, Pozo gets into a rage and he tells them to stop harassing him. Now both Pozo and Lucky leaves. Now again boy arrives and he does not remember meeting them. Them here means your Gogo and Didi, your Vladimir and Astrogan. He tells them it is his first time coming to meet them. A conversation is identical that the Mr. Godot will once again not be able to come but will be sure to arrive tomorrow. On this, Vladimir demands that the boy be sure to remember that he saw him. And he also yells and he asks the boy not to come and tell him tomorrow that he never saw me. Again the two decided to leave but cannot go. The two look at the tree and contemplate hanging themselves. Astrogan takes off his belt but it breaks when they pull on it. His trousers fall down. Vladimir asks him to put on his trousers. Vladimir says that they will hang themselves tomorrow until Godot comes to save them. They decide to leave but again do not move. So this was the full summary of Waiting for Godot. And friends, if you like, don't forget to like and subscribe. And please press the bell icon for further notification. And if you have any query, please do comment in comment section. Thank you for watching this video.